These are new glasses, Marc Jacobs. Nothing's ever too much if you're pure like me. I'm happy because even though now I'm 73, and I'm getting ready to make the best career move an artist can make, and that's dying. Because it's just a joke, but it's a very true joke. Because when you die, then you join, if the work is good enough and it's powerful enough, which I believe mine is, I will join the icons of photography, and that gives me a great joy. But I've been working very, very hard always, but more than ever before, because time is running out. We say in New York that the clock is running. The clock is running. All the numbers are coming out of the clock. They're running away, you know? And it's inevitable, but the new work at the Galerie Baudouin Le Bon is different from what's shown at the BNF in the sense that in the BNF show and in my earlier work, I relied to a great extent on heavier subject matter, manifestations of history or the context of what I was photographing, the subject. And now the work is more universal. And since it's so new to me, I have to make more of it before I basically can define it, the new work. But the new work is something that it is a kind of a form of achievement that I've learned from the older work. And it's more casual and yet deeper without having the references of the subject. Well, I think we approach a better world, a fairer world. Yep. And the way the world is, you know, we can put people on different planets. We have the capacity. But every 3 seconds, a child in the world dies of hunger. So, you know, it's proof that we don't know how to live, and we never will. And my work is basically about that problem in history, in the Western civilization, the history of that civilization, the history of its art, and everything that's basically characterization of a human being. The splendor and misery of life, love, fear, God, wisdom, evil, goodness, all those things. All the things that make us what we are. We're confused. We're confused, but we have the capacity to basically change the world. France is somehow or other, we're linked in destiny. The French have taught we Americans, and we're a newer culture, we're a dumber culture. The French have taught us aesthetics, respect for another person, and dignity. How can we live without the knowledge of art, which includes literature and the visual arts, the plastic arts? For me, it's the highest manifestation of communication is art. And usually the highest form on a stable, long basis is literature. Secondarily, it might be dance. That's very, very primordial, and when it's great, it's something that's an entirely new discovery from the body. And then the third is the arts. Contemporarily, art, especially photography, couldn't be more dumb. And a lot of contemporary photography reflects the stupidity of people because they're getting dumber and dumber and dumber. And then especially in the arts, especially in visual arts, we're just buried by all things in magazines, especially advertising, then television. And none of those things lived up to the promise of their discoveries. I sell more work and show more work in Europe, especially France and anywhere else, because the French especially are deeper, they're more serious, they're loyal, and that's good. You have a show like the Bibliothèque nationale, which is it's not a retrospective, it's about the connection between my work and classical art. And just as I believe, I hope, I'll find out when I die how good I was from the real artist up there. But I've devoted my life to making art as a vocation, not a career. And the most important thing I tell people all the time, especially through this show, is that you have the great classical masters from the Renaissance to Beckmann, say, in the show. And not only do they devote their lives, they rather die than not make art, we'll say, and that's not a neurosis, that's a necessity. The second thing is that they just didn't want to only contribute to their medium. Anybody can do that, you know. You have a Polaroid and here's another photograph, and that's nothing. But what they wanted to do and did was they created a new vision, an incarnation of life through themselves. And that to me is the criteria of art. And so the show is an incredibly good show. It's a great success. Then we worked 3 years on the book, both the Joel-Peter book and the BNF books, and they're very good. I'm privileged to be in those books. They're my 21st and 22nd book. I'm working on 2 other books now, and so things are good. I feel good about things. I feel as though this should have happened maybe 20 years ago, but that's okay. Actually, it was very good for me because of my ego, because my ego is very, 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 very sensitive. If I get, if I become or became a star, I probably couldn't handle it. Every day I come, wake up, look at myself in the mirror, and I'm still alive, and then I go to work. And I work 7 days a week, every day. Even here I'm working, I'm thinking about, as I talk, I'm thinking about other things I'm visualizing. But the life is very, very quiet. I don't even listen to music anymore. I used to listen to Beethoven and Bach, you know. Now, my consciousness is the only consciousness I want in the room. I don't have any of my work on the walls, because I don't want to see any of my work. I only want to see the work I'm doing. I've done that work. You know, it's answered some questions. But I'm working with the answers to the questions, what I'm doing at the time. And now I'm getting excited because I can see a finality.